There's a new Rivian that's smaller and more affordable. Rivian has made some of the most impressive, desirable, exciting electric trucks and SUVs on the market.
Hey, RJ. Yeah, no, I'm wearing the shirt and everything. I got it from the gear shop. It just hurts. You know, I thought we were closer. I know Doug and many others have big viewerships, but the Gjeebs organization would have loved to have been there for the launch of the R2. Yeah, no, I know. 45K is a great deal, but I'm about to show my audience something else. Goodbye. That was RJ Scarnage, CEO of Rivian. Folks, behind me here is a Model Y, and you're thinking, we've covered this ad nauseum. But the value of these has dropped significantly. Some poor bastard back in the day spent $80,000 on this model, and now it's in the 20s. Model Ys like this is a 2023 model, can be had for $20,000. For some reason, this specific loaner we got from Tesla, because another car is in service, has a performance spoiler on it. This spoiler is so beat up that if you run your hand across it, your hands will turn into carbon fiber. The rear plastic needs O'Keeffe's. The badges are both black and aftermarket. And it has some jerry-rigged performance brake calipers. And clearly at some point they replaced the windshield and decided to just leave the tape on for decoration. So the question is a vehicle like this worth it? We are going to drive and review this. I owned one of these for 75,000 miles and I really liked it, but toward the end, it started to get a little long in tooth, a little uncomfortable. This has the obviously 19-inch wheels. So we're going to do a full test and see if $20,000 is still too much or if it is the bargain of the century. Now, this has all-wheel drive, has over 300 miles of range and access to Tesla's supercharger network. It also has the same exact battery that is in the brand new 2026 Model Y. The charging speeds are all the same. In fact, I've tested them side by side, and the charging time on the new Model Y is actually 5 minutes longer if you're to do a complete charge to 100%, which most people are not doing that. Jumping into the inside is where this becomes more dated, but one thing I'm immediately reminded by is how comfortable these seats are. These seats are so comfortable. The steering wheel is falling off the car. This is shaking. It's not in place at all. This does this weird hook thing to the right, but the seats hold my cheeks like no one has ever held them before. And I've always appreciated that about the original Tesla Model Y. Plus, I mean, I've blew out many times on these seats and the stains just come out. So if you're thinking about getting the black or the white interior, I wouldn't worry about staining it because these are extremely easy to clean. So the comfort of the seats, immediately I'm reminded by how good it is. The other weird thing about this specific model, if we go into software here, you can see it has the full self-driving computer 3, so hardware 3. If you go to additional vehicle information, you can see it has the AMD Ryzen chip, but it's not a hardware 4 vehicle. So it has the upgraded chip, but it is a full self-driving computer 3, and they're already talking about computer 5 and computer 6 and computer 7. What's that called? The effect, that company that went under, they kept promising. So I was trying to look up what I was thinking of, that company failing, and the second search that came up when I typed in company that kept promising the next version and failed, the second result is Tesla full self-driving and robo-taxi. That was kind of funny, but that's not what I'm thinking about. The term I was looking for was their promising, and then your customers get to a point where they're like, well, these new things are coming. Why would I buy when I know this tech is going to be outdated? And that's what I find interesting about this vehicle and the current hardware for vehicles is their capabilities, even though this is a 2023, and even if you went back to the 2020 model, their capabilities in these cars exceed what most 2026 models are doing from Mercedes-Benz or BMW or certainly Honda, even Toyota. The capabilities of this, because of them being fully vertically integrated with their software stack, makes it still an incredible value. Some other things to note, since I know a lot of you are watching this video probably shopping for the car, here's some things to look at to get a good buy. So if you're going into a dealership and you're looking at a Tesla, a lot of the salespeople at dealerships don't even think Teslas are real, so they don't know how to look for what's included in the vehicle. So you can see right here, it says full self-driving capability included. That means this has full self-driving. This also has the acceleration boost, which I've dynoed the vehicle. That adds 100 horsepower to the car. So the acceleration boost takes 0 to 60 in this model to 4.2 seconds, and it has the premium connectivity. So if you go in and you see that it has full self-driving capability on it, they're probably not factoring that into the cost. And then if you go to additional vehicle information, you can see it has the AMD Ryzen. Even in 2026, that is still the current chip. And then you can see right up here, it says full self-driving computer 3. So this would be computer 4 or hardware 4 in some of the newer vehicles. So this is just something to look at. Heat pumps came with every single Model Y ever, so you don't have to worry about that, but it is different with the Model 3. So those are just some things that you can look at when you're looking to buy a vehicle to see exactly what it includes, just because it's confusing to dealers who are selling these things because they don't know what they actually came with. But let me just show you some other things within the software of the vehicle. So when you take a look at the display here, let's say you need to find a charger. All you need to do is tap, and then you click this right here. It shows you all of the chargers. It shows you their current cost, and there are different costs throughout the day. So if we click on this one right here, and then we go over, it shows you from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. it's 27 cents, and then it about doubles from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if you go early in the morning, you can get very low rates on this. It shows you that 12 of 16 stalls are available, and the car is preconditioning itself for fast charging, and so there's safe temperatures for the battery to give you maximum longevity. Now, some of you say, I don't want to use the stupid screen. I just want to use my mouth that God gave me. So you can use your mouth in this. Take me to the nearest supercharger. Searching, click. And it's going to take me to the nearest supercharger. It's going to precondition the battery, and it's navigated and ready to go. Now, the other thing this car has is Grok. So this is an AI that is implanted into the vehicle, and this actually is starting to work with voice commands in the vehicle. So you can communicate with Grok as you're driving up the road. So you're not ever typing on the screen or looking anything up. The voice recognition is very accurate. And again, this is in a $20,000 vehicle. Now, some of those vehicles right at $20,000 are 2020 or 2021 or 2022 models. So those do not have the AMD Ryzen chip. You need that upgraded chip for a little bit better processing power, and that makes the car a better value. But we are still in the low 20,000s. Good charging network, heat pump, plenty of space, great performance, and an awesome and still relevant technology stack that has software updates over time. The other thing that's great is within the Tesla app. The app you do not have to pay for. It's just something that's included with the vehicle. That's considered your main key to the vehicle. You don't have to pay for anything on there. Now, there certainly are things you can pay for if it's a full self-driving subscription, or maybe it's premium connectivity, which gives you like this map view, for example. So it gives you this nice view. If you didn't have premium connectivity, it would be in poverty view, which looks like this. But truthfully, this isn't an impoverished view. I mean, this is a kind of a nice looking view here. What's this? That's our 3D.
That's for premium.
Yeah. Oh, this is premium. Ah, that's right. So this is premium. You get the 3D. Non-premium, no 3D for you. We do get weather here, so you can see all the weather patterns across the country. Extremely useful, because if you're going on a road trip, maybe we're driving from Phoenix to Hawaii, and we're going to run through this storm right here, and I want to know about it. So very useful. Whoa, that's a banger going through Anchorage right now. Look at that. So despite the age of this vehicle, it's still a really good value. But the other thing I value is keeping my information off of the internet, and that's why today's video sponsor is Delete Me. Delete Me is a hands-free subscription service that will remove your personal information that's being sold online. Since I started using Delete Me 3 years ago, they have scanned thousands of listings with my information, like phone number and address, and removed it from 28 sites, saving me a ton of time and keeping my information private. Delete Me starts by having you fill out a profile of your name, common spellings, your phone number, address, or previous addresses you've lived at to find your information that data brokers are selling. These data brokers organize your data and then license it to sell to other data brokers or other organizations who can profit from your data. Delete Me will generate your first report, and it can take a few days all the way up to a month to get your information removed from the internet. The best part is they keep removing your information every 3 months when it pops up on websites. Plus, as more data broker sites pop up, Delete Me will add them to their list and make sure your information is removed. You can also make custom removal requests to your privacy expert if you see information somewhere you don't want it. I just used this feature and they showed me a setting on the website that was leaking my info to change, so it was no longer leaked. So Delete Me is offering Gjeebs viewers 20% off Delete Me US consumer plans when you go to joindeleteme.com/Gjeebs20 and use promo code Gjeebs20 at checkout. They also have a link for international plans. Everything is linked in the description. Delete Me, thank you for sponsoring. Some other things to show you here as the hurricane hits Anchorage. We have this nice Alcantara charging pad here for your phone. They've also done an update to the vehicle recently. So if you go to charging here and then you go down to wireless charging pads, you can see it says new here. This is an update so that you can turn them on or you can turn them off. I personally like having them turned off because I just want to rest my phone here. I don't want it to heat up and charge. Again, that's a software update. 3 years ago, this car did not have that feature. They sent the update. Now your old car has new features. And that's really all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying we're saving the planet. I'm not saying this is the best car ever. I'm just saying it's a good value, especially at this low cost point. So you have their charging pads there that you can turn on or off. If you buy a BMW, there's no turning them on or off. There's no software update coming. Germany is not coming to save you. Okay? So you have this huge hole down here, the abyss. We have the center console open. Germany just attacked my throat. So we have this little center console here. Center consoles are, this is the only car you can get a center console in. That's why I brought it up. Most cars don't have them. You have the steering wheel here, vegan leather, made of vegetables. And it's just, look at the car's beat up. You saw the spoiler in the back. I mean, that's tough. And this here, steering wheel still looks good. The car's been abused. Steering wheel still looks good. Simplicity here. Tap your voice commands. You have your shifters, because in the new ones, there's no shifters, because you do this and you swipe and all that stuff. And overall, you just have like a nice place to be. Now, there are things that they've upgraded on this 23 model, such as the double paned glass. By the way, this purple tint makes me want to throw up. Go to Dynamic Tint in Tempe, Arizona, and get actual tint on your vehicle. This purple stuff is nonsense. I don't know what happened to this vehicle. I feel bad for it, but it probably lived a very fun life. Has Alcantara suede here. The door cards are carpeted, so it does have some of the upgrades of the new cars, but you're really not missing a ton. So let's go, I have a kink in my neck again, so I have to turn like this. But yeah, let's go take it for a drive and see how it is. All right, let's put this thing in gear. Now the first thing we're going to test is the suspension. This is the Sydney Sweeney suspension test. Let's see how they do. And really the big difference there, this is certainly not a Sydney Sweeney. It doesn't have the rebound effect that she encapsulates so well. This is a harsher hit. The NVH in this thing is just, it's more rough. There's more boomy echoes inside the vehicle. And that's really with the older Model Y, that was really my only complaint towards the end, was the suspension was rough. And the 19-inch wheels help that. But ultimately the new one is excellent. So outside of that now, you have self-driving capabilities. So let's say you buy one of these for 22 grand, and then you can subscribe to self-driving for $99 a month. Now, within the self-driving capability, you can see right here in this parking garage, all these spots are popping up. So this car has the ability to let you choose. So you can choose any row, any car in the aisle. Go national, go like a. So we're going national right now. Just showing you, one of the features. And there you go. This car that is 3 years old, going on 4, perfectly parks itself and does it better than, 80% of modern cars that are coming out right now. And that's the thing. The software is usable. It's not like it has the feature, but like you saw me test the Chevy Traverse the other day. It has a self-park feature. There were 4 billion open spaces in this parking lot, and it just didn't pick one until it randomly picked one. The capabilities have to be useful, and in this car, this older Model Y, they are. So that's one of them. Now let's take a look at full self-driving. All right, so I currently have the self-driving on. I don't know where it's taking me. These could be my last moments. So this is interesting. I don't have a destination set in, so I'm just letting it drive me. The other thing you're wondering about is the warranty. So it has an 8-year, 120,000 mile warranty on the battery pack. So 8 years, 120,000 miles, whatever comes first. This is a 45,000 mile vehicle, so there is a ton of warranty left, and people may be wondering, well, what do you do if the warranty runs out or the battery needs to be replaced? Well, it's covered. It's covered 8 years, 120,000 miles. This is a 2023, so right around 2030 or 2031, depending on when this was originally sold. That's how much warranty you have left. So one of the big worries would be the warranty, and this thing has a great warranty, or it's also bumper to bumper 4 years or 50,000 miles, which again, this model still falls in. So the fact that you can get a vehicle, and I'm not saying it can drive itself in terms, I can't sit in the back seat, but I have to sit here and it can drive me through any city center using Tesla's neural nets that it hasn't been to, or what looks like a road. It just was on a dirt road back there. I don't know why, but it handles it perfectly. Now, this being a hardware 3 vehicle, doesn't have the front bumper cam. I'll throw up the visualization here. Doesn't have the front bumper cam. The hardware 4 vehicles, the new Model Y in terms of full self-driving is excellent. It's better than this. It's more smooth and natural feeling. This is a little bumpy, but again, we're talking about value in this video. A $20,000 vehicle with this type of capability is remarkable to me, and it's better than cars that are 4 times the cost of this Model Y. So do I think it's a safe buy? I do. I don't think this is you're not trying to turn heads with this. This is a utility. I've always viewed the Model Y as a utility vehicle. You can comfortably fit a lot of stuff and people in it. It gets a decent amount of range. It has decent charging, has excellent technology and safety. It has great full self-driving capability if you want to subscribe to that for a road trip or something coming up to see if it's worth it. I'd say this is something that's certainly worth looking at if you're looking to get a low-cost, highly reliable vehicle, because again, I've owned one of these extensively. I currently own the new Model Y, and coming back into this, it's not as bad as you remember it being. And then when you factor in the cost to it and the new cars, and like the R2 is coming out, right? Now the R2 is promised at $45,000 as a starting point. I would almost guarantee you that it's not going to be anywhere near that to start. And eventually will they get there? I hope, but I'm not crossing my fingers. So check out used Teslas, especially like the Model S. If you want something that you get a ton of range on road trips and things like that with an air suspension, they can be had in the $30,000 range for a car that goes 3.1 to 60, 400 miles of range, better technology than this and comfort. It's just a really good value. And I don't think the market values them because they're afraid of electric vehicles, which is why they're currently undervalued. The other reason they don't hold value well is because there's not that much difference between models. They don't look different on the outside. There's limited colors. There's limited interior colors. Whereas like a BMW X3 can have a red interior. It could be an X3M. It could be whatever. There's various versions of it where Tesla is looking to get out volume, and those other companies like Mercedes and BMW, which do depreciate, but some models can hold value better because they are more unique. And that's what Tesla doesn't have, but that's good for the consumer. That means you can get a high quality vehicle at a low cost with capabilities that exceed luxury vehicles far beyond this. As we're driving around in here, it is boomy. People have asked me, do those insulation strips work? They do work. It's very hard to get them to stay on. They reduce the decibels a little bit. It helps. What I think helps a lot is putting up a sunshade. I'll have a sunshade I promote. And also if you're looking for a rear spoiler, if I get in an accident, it's over right now. If you're looking for a rear spoiler, this is the one from T Parts. This is custom built for the Model Y. And if you cover it in PPF, it won't fail like the one on the rear of this did. So this is excellent. It's $260 after my discount code. So there's lots of accessories. You can do different wheels, wraps, and you can get it at a very low cost. The Model Y is excellent. Now, if you want to see what the new Model Y is like, click this video right here to get my 10,000 mile update on the new Model Y so you can compare the two models.